All right, welcome back, friends. And the next thing we're going to be talking about, friends, right now is going to be about the if and the and function. All right, the if plus and function. All right, the last time we talked about the if plus or function. Now we're going to be talking about the if and function. All right, so basically, friends, they are similarly the same thing actually for the or and the and function. The difference is this: in the case of the or function, Excel will return true if either of multiple conditions were met. All right, now in the and statement, Excel will only return true if all the conditions are met. All right, so if for example I give Excel 3 different conditions, all right, and one of those conditions is met and then 2 were not met, all right, Excel will return true if I'm using the if plus or function, but Excel will return false if I'm using the if plus and function. Now in the and case, Excel expects all 3 conditions to be met for it to return true. Right, if one of the conditions is met, or even 2 of the conditions are met and just one was not met, Excel will return false. All right, so basically that's how the if plus and function operates in Excel. All right, so quickly let me just use this as an example. All right, so we are having the same a similar question here. We are told to return true if a product was sold by the government segment or through the online sales channels, otherwise return false. All right, so if a product was sold in either the government segment or an online sales channels, we expect it to return true. Otherwise, we expect it to return false. So we are going to check if a particular product was sold in the government segment and then to an online segment, online sales channels, and then we are going to return true. But if a product was sold through the government segment and was not sold through the online sales channels, it will return false automatically. And that's basically what the and function is going to do. All right, but in the case of the or function, if one of these conditions were met, it is still going to return true. All right, but that doesn't work. That doesn't work for the and function. So I'm just going to double tap inside this cell over here, and then what I'm going to do next right now is to say equals to, all right, friends, and then I'm going to say and then I open up my brackets. All right, now that I open up my bracket, Excel is asking me for the logical statement I want to test. All right, what logical statement am I trying to check? Let me just increase my screen brightness so you can see this really clearly. All right, so what logical test am I trying to check? So I'm trying to check, one, if this particular segment is equal to maybe it's equal to government. In other words, let me just put quotation and type in government. Now check if it was sold through the government channels. All right, that's the first logical test I'm trying to check. Now the second test I'm trying to check is, and then check if the sales channels through which the product was sold is equals to online. In other words, check if these sales channels is equal to, then I'm going to type in online. All right, so friends, that's basically what I'm trying to check. All right, so I'm trying to test these 2 conditions, then I close my bracket. So check if this condition is met and this condition is met. All right, if both are met, then return true. All right, but if one is not met and the other was met, return false. That's basically how the and function operates. So I just come to the bottom right and then click and drag down to the end, and you can see we have true, false, and situations where the conditions were met and when they were not met. I think we have just 3 cases where the conditions were met. All right, so these are just the 3 cases where these conditions were met. All right, so friends, that's basically how we use the and function here in Excel. All right, so friends, the next thing I'm going to be doing right now is to use the and function and nest it with the if function, just to show you how it operates. I remember the last time we nested the or function with the if function. All right, so now we are going to be nesting the and function with the if function, just so that we don't return true and false. We can return a particular text over here, we can return a particular number, we can return any other thing apart from just true and false. Right, so right now I'm going to show you how we do that. I'm just going to double tap inside here, but before writing any function, we are going to read the question. It's telling us to identify the product sold by the enterprise segment that exceed $200,000. All right, so identify the product that were sold by this particular segment that exceeds a particular target of 200,000. All right, so basically, friends, we're going to just double tap on this particular cell and then equals to, we're going to type in the and function, open our bracket up, and then we are going to check if this segment, first of all right, is equal to what we call the enterprise segment. Right, so what I'm going to type in is type in enterprise, right, in quotation. I could just click on a cell where we have enterprise. I can just click on this cell and lock the cell and then carry out my function. Let me show you some other way. Instead of typing enterprise there, I can just click on this particular section where I see enterprise. I can click on any of them where I see enterprise, and I just lock this cell, function F4. Right, so I just lock this over here. Now this over here is enterprise. All right, so I locked it. All right, so then I can just say a comma sign. The second logical test is to check if the revenue target exceeded 200,000. In other words, check if the revenue, this over here, if it is greater than 200,000. I don't think I have any cell where we have 200,000 here. If not, I could just click on it. But let me type in 200,000 here. So I just say 200,000. All right. So check if either of these condition. Okay. I think we have where we wrote 200,000. So I just click on this over here. This 200,000. Then I can just lock the cell. Function F4. Function F4. All right. So I think that we should be fine now. All right. So I just close my bracket and then I click on enter. As expected, this should be giving me true or false, true or false, true or false, as expected. But I don't want true or false, true or false. I want something real. I want you to return the product. All right, identify the product, not just true or false. So I'm going to nest it with the if function. So I just come over here to the back and type in if, and then open my bracket. And in the logical test section, I just put a comma sign, then the value if true, the value if true. All right, what value do I want to return if true? I want to return something else, maybe the product, the name of the product. All right, I could still easily type return true if it is true here, and tell it to return false if it is false. And in that case, I'm still going to be saying true and false, true and false. But I think I want it to return the product. All right, so it gives me some flexibility. And then I say, if the condition is not met, I don't want you to return anything. Just close my bracket and click on enter. And I just have to come to the bottom right of this cell and drag down to the end. And now I'm going to have the products where those conditions were met. Right, so the cases where the target was exceeded and it was sold through the enterprise channel. Right, so friends, that's basically how we use the if plus the and function to query our data set here in Excel. Without wasting much of your time, friends, I'd like you to delve into your spreadsheet and then practice what you've learned. Have a nice day, friends.